Hi everybody, how's it going today traders? It is now January 30th, 5:30 p.m. and we are going to talk about Enigma. This is actually the second time I've done this TA because I just recently did it and my microphone wasn't on at that time, so now I can condense it a little bit, though it is still very detailed. And the reason why it's going to be one of the more detailed analysis is because I want to give you guys insight on how Elliot wave traders think. And the process is extremely important. So if you guys enjoy these videos, I'd really appreciate an upvote on steemit. And make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share to all this stuff as well on social media like YouTube and on Twitter. I like to post a lot of goodies on Twitter, so you guys might get access to some like awesome calls. You know, I might call out some really oversold or overbought zones that you guys might not recognize because it's good to have more eyes in the field, right? And if that happens, then maybe you guys can get a chance to profit a little bit more down the road there. So we're gonna talk about Enigma, and we're gonna go over Elliot wave from many different perspectives from the entire beginning. And I'm gonna show you guys how EW traders think in terms of what they look for and criterias that must be met. So this is gonna be an incredibly good Elliot wave tutorial type kind of video as well to give you guys an intro on how it can be done. So let's take a look at Enigma. Now we're going to go over the very basics first for Elliot wave like we do for everyone. So that even though this one is not that long, but it is still going to be a fairly long video. Now you guys need to understand one thing, right? If you are invested in Enigma, you need to do all the research that you possibly can because you need to get perspective from everybody and everywhere, because as an investor or even a swing trader, it's good to have perspectives from everyone, right? So it's in your best interest to keep up to news, to get opinions from different perspectives as well, so you can formulate your own opinion. So the reason why these are very long sometimes is because, well, if I'm going to be invested in it myself as well, which is a trade that I do plan to take, then I'm going to put in all the research that I possibly can. We have to understand that crypto is not easy, guys. It's not just a matter of buying somewhere and selling somewhere. It's a matter of diligently planning well ahead so we can extrapolate information and data from what we know already. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. So Elliot wave, as we all know, it's my favorite way to trade. Elliot wave goes something like that, with a motive impulse wave up, where we get most likely a beautiful impulse wave like that, and wave 4 territory does not go into the wave 1 territory right there. And then we have ABC. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is very easy, but of course everything else is not easy. So ABC comes in many different shapes and forms, and that's up to us to figure out how it is, right? And for example, here we have a head and shoulders pattern that's forming left shoulder, head, and right shoulder right there. And then what we look for is a break on the C, or we see if C is going to hold, etc., right? And then we play either the breakout and then maybe target a position down here around wave 4 as a buy zone. But if sometimes it might hold as well, it might form a very bullish type of triangle. So now let's go over a lot of what we see. Now I'm going to talk about modes of failure as well, right? So first of all, for criterias to be met for it to be Elliot wave, we have to make sure that we count specific subwaves within waves. So I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame first of all, and we're going to debate a lot of this together, okay? We're going to debate a lot of this together and see what we can come up with for fun. So keep in mind that in leverage the markets, we are absolutely going to see overlapping in wave 1 and 4, but I only accept it within a period of a wick and not more than that, all right? So we're going to go over this right here. Now, if we take a look at this right here, let me go to, say, a 3-hour, for example. Actually, maybe a 4-hour here. So let's say we ended up calling this like that, where this might be 1, 2, say this was 3, 4, and a 5, like that. And just try to break down the subwaves that I personally see as fractals. So I see this as a fractal as well right here, something like that. And this region right down here, for example, okay? So this to me looks pretty decent so far. although it may not be like that, we might actually end up getting something like this instead. So we have to go through a series of trial and error to see what could possibly work. So let's say we ended up doing something like that even, okay? Something like that. Could that possibly work? We ask ourselves. Looks pretty good, right? But here, the way we see it is very different as well. Right here, it could look like an ABC. So let's go to a different kind of time frame. For example, right here. So the way we might be able to see this as well is an ABC. Because it's very against the trend there, right? It's very against the trend, so we might be able to call that ABC. And here, we might get some weird structure in there, like an ending diagonal or something like that. So let's just debate all of these things that we see. Now, this is definitely a possibility on a high time frame, right? So what a lot of people may think is, hey, this could possibly be A, this could possibly be B, and this could possibly be C, somewhere down there. Now, a very common extension that we like to do is a 1-to-1 ratio. So let's keep this in mind for ABC, where it forms a zigzag. And when I say a 1-to-1 ratio, I'm talking about taking Fibonacci extension like this, where it makes a 1-to-1 ratio, just like that. Now, another thing that I always like to do is I ask myself, how far did this retrace entirely? But first, let's confirm that we have 5 official wave counts. So that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. I'll just draw this one right over here so it makes more sense to you guys. But realistically, like this whole thing is 2 over here, okay? This whole correction that I'll draw here for you guys. So that's one fractal that we're seeing of consolidation. And of course, the second one that we see is roughly right in this region right here, which is beautiful, right? So this one kind of formed like a very tight flag, you can say. So something like that in there as well. So we definitely see 5 beautiful impulse waves up. So we take a look at the Fibonacci for everything here. We take a look at Fibonacci tool, just like that. So when we see that it's actually retraced a fairly decent level already. So for the 0.5. Now I've got 2 theories for this coin, and we're going to debate both of them, okay? Now this looks good, but I could not possibly count 5 waves in here. So that kind of bothered me as well, okay? So the way I'm seeing this now is I see this as 1, 2, small 3, 4, and 5, like that. And what I'm also seeing in here as well is this could possibly be a leading first wave diagonal. I'm just going to take it to the wick end like that. So what if this was 1, this was 2, this was basically 3, and 4, and 5, like that, okay? So this actually looks pretty reasonable as well. Now, also this right here, it's debatable, okay? I would not say that this is ABC because I simply cannot find 5 subwaves in here. Now, the characteristics of an impulse, actually I'm going to draw A and B for you guys first of all. So the characteristics of A, B, C goes like this. It goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, goes like that. And then this one goes ABC. Don't mind the slope. I'm just doing it very quickly so we can get an idea. This will go ABC like that, or ABCDE, something like that. And then the 5th C wave over here always has 5 going up like that. This is called a 5-3-5 type of correction. 5-3-5. So that's what we're looking for on the ABC corrective wave against the trend. Now, the way I see it is this does not look like an ABC actually, okay? Not at all. I'm going to break it down further on a 1-hour time frame, and I'll show you guys how I actually see this right here, okay? I'll show you guys how I see this right here. I see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which makes a lot more sense in my opinion, or even one right here like that, okay? Like that. The reason why I see this as 5 impulse waves is because of this one right here. The third one always makes a 5 beautiful wave like this, okay? The fifth wave and the first wave, they can be very weird, but the third one always ends up making some sort of impulse wave up like that. So it's really hard for me to believe that this is actually a B, okay? Now that I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, then I'm looking for basically an ABC type in here, okay? I'm looking for an ABC in there, and I'm actually probably going to get it. Like this whole thing probably gets extended to about right there. And I'm looking for an ABC, and I actually see it. A, B, C, like that. So it's really hard for me to believe that this up here is actually A, B, C over there, or sorry, all of B right there. Then this one could be maybe 1, 1, 2, and you know, this could very well be like this as well. We always try to get 5 waves coming down. So let's just say that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and heck, that's 5. And what we actually see as well is that wave 4 only goes into basically wave 1 territory just by a hair, by a wick, right? And in these leverage markets, man, we're going to see it so often, guys, where things like this happen, where they just happen to overlap like that. And also, it could also be an ending 5th wave diagonal, right? Ending 5th wave diagonals really happen often, and they can overlap in A, B, C substructures. So this is the way I'm going to debate it for now, all right? I'm going to debate it for now like this is A, B, C, now that I've gotten the count in here. And of course, there's variations, which we will go through as well. So as a trader, we have to look for possibilities of it conforming to Elliott waves. So if I call this right here A, B, and C, right? Then is this possibly a first impulse wave up? That's what I'm wondering right now, okay? So let's say that this was the first impulse wave up right now. What we're seeing is that it's actually correcting to a very decent 618 Fibonacci level as well, okay? So I'm going to draw these trend line supports in here as well so we can see where it's being supported. And we see that it's actually being supported in a channel fairly decently, right? So just coming down like that, for example, you know, if we went to a higher time frame as well here, what we'll see is just the wick poking through, most of them right there, okay? So I'm just playing around right now, trying to give you guys a rough idea of how a lot of traders will analyze Elliott wave and go through the series of steps to see which is right and what's wrong. So what I see right now is something that's wedged into here like that, assuming there are some bull traps. So if I go to a 4-hour time frame, it doesn't look the best. But when we take into account that the candles that overlap, well, they're considered they're considered to be just a wick, right? So now I'm debating, is this A, B, C right here with this first impulse wave up because we've counted already, and all of this is a wave 2 correction? Is that very much so possible? So we're going to extrapolate to get 2 different case scenarios. So I'm more so doing a technical analysis for you guys. I don't like to do predictions that much. So is that 1 right here? And this is 2? 3 somewhere perhaps up there? Okay. We'll just say 3 maybe, who knows? It could be something like that. 4 right around the wave 1 territory. And 5, something like that. Is that possible? So now another thing that we're going to take into account is that ABCs don't usually happen, and we usually just don't break out right away into an impulse wave after such a short correction. But I want to make note that Enigma has a very beautiful chart in terms of impulse wave, and my long-term target actually still stands like very far down the road, okay? So I think that this could be very likely a possibility. And if I actually do my Elliott wave analysis, I'm just going to clear all of this out right here, and I take my Fibonacci extension like this. So I take my Fibonacci extension like that, so right around this range. I clearly see that the 161.8 region is much higher than where this first primary wave in the cycle finished. So this could very well be the actual count, all right? Now we're going to go over some alternatives as well. We're going to go over an alternative where we consider this right here a support, okay? I'm going to go to around the 2600 range right here. Maybe not that low. Maybe more so right there. That sounds pretty good. Seems pretty good to me. So now let's say that we look at the other scenario as well, where we consider this A, B, and C, okay? A, B, C like that, where it could possibly end up getting a double bottom type, right? I'll just go to the more extreme ends, like around 2650 or so, okay? Because we are taking the most extreme ends, right? The most extreme ends right here. So we ask ourselves, could this possibly be a scenario as well, okay? Can it be a possible scenario if this ended up being A, B, C, right? So I'm asking myself, which one seems more likely for us to only make one touchdown here, or perhaps, to make a touchdown here, just one touch only, and then we start our impulse wave up already? Or is it more likely that it could be an A, B, C with a double touch somewhere, or even drop lower than there? But for now, from what we see that this is a major support zone right there, right? I'm more inclined to believe that this is the one right here that makes a lot more sense to me. Makes a lot more sense to me that this could possibly be very much so it right here. Now, if this were actually it, I'm going to take Fibonacci right here from top there to about right here, okay? Oops. Here, and let's say that was at the most extreme end, around right there, okay? So now, if this were actually it right here, I would be targeting my impulse waves something like this, perhaps. So I'm gonna target maybe, I don't know, around the 382 level first, okay? The 382 level, maybe bounce back down to that level right here. Maybe around the 0.5 level as well, where it's slightly bigger than it. Actually, maybe even the 4.6, yeah, around this range right there. And maybe come back to a 382 level, and then slightly higher than it around the 50,000 range, okay? So that could very well be a target as well, right? So now, if we consider this as ABC, we have to ask ourselves, could this possibly be an X as well? Could this possibly be an X point where we get a double extended correction for a zigzag? So the way I'm going to be playing this, and I will play this coin, guys, is I'm going to first of all look to see how this levels off right here. I'm going to see if we're going to get any type of bounce off of the 618. And right now, clearly the 618 region is not holding, right? So I do believe that an extended correction is still, not an extended, but a correction to at least the 26,000 range is going to happen. And now I'm going to look at some of these charts as well, okay? What we've noticed about this coin is that, well, it broke through a very key support, which was right over here. This was a key support, if we've noticed, which made kind of a descending triangle on the RSI. Now, we look for other key areas of support for RSI, and it would most likely be somewhere around these kind of ranges where there's a lot of hesitation. I'd probably say more so around this area right here for RSI. Right around here maybe. So I'm expecting the daily RSI to drop to a fairly low level. I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. It's at $10,000 Bitcoin. Let's just go over Bitcoin as well here, okay? Bitcoin is actually not looking like it's going to hold at the 10,000 level, to be quite honest, okay? Doesn't look like it's going to hold at the 10,000 level. And hold on, I'm just managing my position really quickly here. Come on. There we go. I'm good. Okay, anyways, so I do believe that it's going to make a correction and go a little bit lower than 10K. And because Bitcoin will most likely go lower than 10K, unfortunately, it's going to drag down the other coins as well, including Enigma. And if we were going to bounce from this specific region right here of the 618 level that I was talking about earlier, honestly, the RSI would have held for the 1 minute or for the charts over here. So if we look at the 4-hour chart as well, what we're noticing is there's no signs of support whatsoever right now, right? It's not bullishly diverging at all. Not at all. And if we look on the 3-hour chart, it's not bullishly diverging in any way. It's still on a tear to come down right now, isn't it, guys, right? It's still in a tear to come down right now. So it's really hard for me to believe that my original first count was actually a valid count, okay? So because I'm now going to discount that last method of counting where this was ABC right here, right? This was A, that was B, and that was C right there. Then I'm going to keep to this one right here, which looks a little bit better to me. ABC. Now, I don't know exactly how far it's going to go, but my goal and my entry will be right down here, okay? This is going to be my entry in here, and I'm going to wait for this point because I do believe that we're breaking through the 618 level. There's not really a lot of crazy volume right now, guys. Really, there's not a lot of crazy volume. Like on any of the coins, I can't really see an uptrend really happening right now. Yeah, it's really worrisome in general because Bitcoin is on a tear right now to come down. So I'm also watching my positions as well. Don't mind me, guys. I'm in a lot of positions today. I'm in a big EOS position right now because it's going down. I mean, I shorted this guy since like $12. Can't complain about that, right? Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back, guys. Deciding on if I should close my short position or not. Bitcoin is at $10,000 now. Okay, guys, Bitcoin is going down. We cannot hold above 10K. It's so implicative right now that this is going to also fall to a lower support range. So what are my thoughts, guys? My thoughts are this, that this is going to eventually get to about the 26 to 28,000 Satoshi range where we see this support right here. And then we'll most likely just end up bouncing off of some Fibonacci levels on the way up there, right? So I'm pretty sure that we're going to end up doing something like this down the road, and it's just a matter of being extremely patient about it. Let's say it's, I don't know, around there, and maybe right here, this might get to the 618 region, okay? This might get down a little bit lower to the 382, and this is, we'll shoot for like a round number around 52K, 51K, something like that. So we noticed during this entire video that we were debating about whether this was ABC or whether this was ABC. And even during the duration of this video, it actually seems like this count is the correct one already because we're ticking down pretty hard, guys. So these are my quick thoughts on Enigma. It's more so a technical analysis rather than a price prediction, but I am hoping to buy around the 26 to 28,000 Satoshi level, and I do plan to take profit around the 50K Satoshi level. This kind of makes sense to me right now. Bitcoin right now is at 10,076 already, so I can't help but think that this is just going to end up downtrending right to this green line. But my long-term prediction still stands, guys. Like, honestly, my long-term prediction still stands, okay? My long-term prediction, I want you guys to know, is... I think it was like 120,000 Satoshi. 110,000 Satoshi, we'll say, around here. So, my opinion is that it will hit something like that up there, and then we will do some sort of Elliot wave such as this. 1, perhaps 2, something like that. Maybe a 3, something like that. And don't ever look at timeline with me, guys. I'm a price action trader, okay? I don't really look at timeline too often. I just play it by ear because I'm a day trader and I don't ever try to guess the timeline. But what I'm trying to guess first right now is this first subwave based on all the information that we have right now. And my guess would be around the 50 to 52,000 Satoshi level, okay? And then after that, I'm hoping for a slightly higher than one-to-one extension around 90K Satoshi. And then of course the fifth subwave, I will gladly target the 161.8. So my long-term projection still stands at about 110,000 Satoshi there. So these are my quick thoughts on Enigma. I hope it has helped you in one way or another. Make sure to always wait for confirmation and wait, guys. It's extremely important to exercise patience in these types of circumstances, all right? Other than that, I'd really appreciate an upvote on steemit. Make sure you guys go there and upvote it because I want to be a bigger part of the community there. It's not about money or anything on there. I want you guys to know, okay? I'm not a whale on there in any way. I don't plan to deposit anymore or anything as well. It's just a way of respecting each other in the community so we can give and take. Other than that, have yourselves a great day. Make sure to also like and subscribe to this stuff on YouTube and on Twitter, and I will talk to you guys sometime down the road. Have a great day, traders. Take it easy now. Bye.